The summer transfer window is officially open, and as usual, Tottenham have got a hell of a lot to do if they are going to be a more competitive side in the Premier League next season, in the Champions League, FA Cup, Carabao Cup, all of the competitions. And yet, the thing is, we've been sat there twiddling our thumbs and we haven't even made a decision on the manager yet. And that is the one thing that we need to sort first of all, before we can even really start looking at players, identifying which targets we want to go for, and actually pursuing players that are going to make this Tottenham squad better for the 2025-26 campaign. It has been well over a couple of weeks now since Tottenham won the Europa League. It's been a week since the Premier League season finished. Ange Postecoglou has gone away on holiday. I believe Daniel Levy's had a short break as well. And there is set to be a decision made on Ange Postecoglou's future in the coming days. There are rumours starting to circulate online suggesting that Ange Postecoglou has been sacked, but the sources are not relatively credible at this stage, although that may change by the time this video goes out or by the time you're watching it a couple of days after it's published. So it's definitely one to keep an eye on, but I just wish that this decision had been made a lot longer ago. Obviously, Fabio Paratici is coming back into the frame. He's going to have his say on who he wants to run the club alongside Johan Langer this summer. And as I just feel like with so many fans uncertain and unsure whether Ange is still going to be the manager next season, it just would have been prudent and probably sensible to give some sort of indication at the very least. The Tottenham Hotspur Twitter account has been teasing certain things. It looks like there's a documentary coming out on Ange Postecoglou and that Europa League winning squad in the next couple of weeks, which is awesome, and I can't wait to watch that. But if Ange is going to stay, it just feels like they would have mentioned it already and they would have shut down the rumours that are emerging from journalists saying that his future is obviously severely at risk, because we all know that Tottenham have got a lot of work to do in the transfer market this summer. We've made the Kevin Danso loan permanent. We've lost Fraser Forster, Sergio Reguilon and Alfie Whiteman. Their contracts have all expired. We're weighing up whether to give Ben Davis another one-year contract extension. Pierre-Emile Højbjerg's loan has been made permanent. There's no word on Matthias Tell and whether we're wanting to sign him at the moment on a permanent deal. I think we're going to try and renegotiate with Bayern Munich for a lower fee than the 50-odd million or whatever it was that we agreed to pay in January. There's only been one real concrete link that Tottenham have had so far with this transfer window opening, and we also have to remember that the transfer window is opening in two stages this summer, from now, the 1st of June, until I believe when the Club World Cup starts. It then shuts while that tournament is on and reopens afterwards until till the start of the 25-26 season, and it will close at the same time as all the other European markets this year. That has been agreed as well. But that name that's been linked with the club is Leroy Sané. Now, Leroy Sané is out of contract this summer, so he will be a free agent unless he signs an extension with Bayern Munich, but it's not looking likely at the moment, just purely because Sané's been having a bit more of a bit part role under Vincent Kompany in Bavaria over the last 12 months or so. You've obviously got the likes of Michael Olise's come into the club. Musiala's developed into a really good player as well. And then, the usuals, Harry Kane, Thomas Muller, Kingsley Coman, they've all been sort of getting the nod to start ahead of him. So there have been strong rumours that Leroy Sané wants to return to the Premier League because I think his wife and kid live in London. So that would make Tottenham a really attractive prospect for him, particularly with the idea that Son is maybe on his last legs at the club. The fact that we've got Champions League football, obviously it's a very attractive city to want to come and live in. So that's definitely one to keep an eye on. But there are a lot of other areas that Tottenham need to improve in this summer. And I feel like this is a film on repeat that we talk about every single summer. Where do Tottenham need to improve? And the answer is always across multiple areas of the pitch. But I guess that's kind of the main point of this video. I want to highlight where Tottenham do need to improve this summer if they want to compete in the Champions League. And I guess the ultimate goal is we have to be better, miles better than we were in the Premier League last season. Finishing 17th is something that should never, ever have to happen again. And Daniel Levy will be determined to make sure that's the case. Obviously, Ange Postecoglou, if he does end up staying as well, will be looking to put that right. And It's a very, very interesting one. And the areas we want to sort of look at in the pitch are, of course, that winger area. That's been a big talking point around Tottenham as a football club over the last sort of 6 or 7 months, purely because Heung-min Son's not necessarily been fit for the entire season. He's got 1 year left on his contract. It's not certain that he's going to stay after that. So who do we bring in to replace him and step up to the plate as that star player in the Tottenham Hotspur squad? Because Son has been regarded as a world-class talent for a lot of years. Obviously, he's not as good as he was. And we need someone to sort of pick up that mantle from him in terms of quality, because we know how good he's been for us over so many years. And I guess that's maybe where the Leroy Sané links are coming in, as a suggestion that we may not activate Tel as a permanent deal. If we were to sign Sané, it would sort of be one or the other. Hopefully, if we did get Sané, that would change, because I really like Matthias Tel and I'd like him to stay at the club. But obviously that winger position is a big one that we need to strengthen in. I think Kulusevski suffered with a lot of injuries. Brennan Johnson's been hot and cold this season. Wilson Odebert's had injuries. So maybe there is that need for one winger to come into the club this summer. I do think we need another striker. And I've said it for a long time now. As much as I really like Richarlison, I like the character he brings to the club. I love that he wears his heart on his sleeve. I love that when he is on the pitch, he gives his absolute all, 100%, until he can't do anything else. The injuries are just too much of a concern over the few years that he's been at the club. He's not available anywhere near as much as he should be for the money that we paid for him. And I just feel like if we can get a sensible fee for him this summer, we should cash in and bring in a new striker that is very much able to compete with Dominic Solanke. Because Dominic Solanke, again, very good player, plays well in Ange Postecoglou's system. He presses incredibly well. He's high energy, but you'd maybe suggest that his goal scoring returns aren't as good as what we need them to be. So obviously we were linked to Liam Delap. There are a few other strikers I'm hoping are going to emerge as potential targets for us in the next couple of weeks to explore. But again, it's very early in the transfer window still, so we have to wait and we have to see at this point. I just kind of want to sandwich together the areas of the pitch that we need to improve. And I think the big priority for Tottenham this summer is to really get a world-class or a top-quality, elite number 6 in that midfield. Basuma, again, he's been okay over the last couple of weeks, and he played really well in the Europa League final, but I don't think he's the type of player with enough amount of quality to take us to that next level. Rodrigo Bentancur, good, but he can't play every single week. He's maybe not, again, that traditional number 6 as much as a number 8 or someone who likes to go up and down. Lucas Bergvall, of course, is a very good player. We know that, but he's got a lot of development to have in his career still. Archie Gray, we don't know whether he is better at centre midfield or at right back still. Pat Matassar, excellent runner on the ball, maybe not as magnificent as we need. So there are a lot of players that could fill that void. Obviously, Johnny Cardoso was one of the names linked because we have a 25% sort of ownership in his contract or whatever. But it looks like he's going to go to Atletico Madrid this summer, so we're not going to cash in on that. For me, Carlos Baleba from Brighton, he's the player. He really is the player that I think could transform that Tottenham midfield and really make a difference. I just think he's excellent. And particularly watching him when we played Brighton on the last day of the season, he just dominates in that midfield. He very rarely loses a tackle. He carries the ball really well. He's got good passing range as well. And if we can negotiate a sensible price, maybe like 70 million for Baleba, maybe if we can knock Brighton's price down a little bit, then I think that would be a fantastic signing. I think also Adam Wharton is a brilliant player, but I think Crystal Palace would be demanding on the upside of £100 million for him this summer, so it's not likely going to happen. And we'll see what other names we get linked with for that centre midfield role. But there's a lot on the cards for Tottenham this summer. There's a lot to do. You want to maybe try and ship some of those deadwood type players out and away from the club. You want to, like I say, bring in a winger, a striker and a central midfielder at the very least. Those are 3 priority positions in my opinion, for Tottenham that are non-negotiables to sign up this summer. And like I said, it's going to be a really interesting one. The summer, of course, is long. There's a lot of time to go in the transfer window. It's only just opening, so there's no need to panic yet. But we do need to be wary not to make the wrong decisions. We need to make sure we sign the right types of players. And we need to make sure that this transforms into a squad, if it is Ange Postecoglou at the helm, that is capable of competing on all fronts. We need a squad rather than a starting 11. That's very, very important for us this summer. So we'll have to keep an eye on it. We'll have to see how things go. Let me know down in the comments, which players do you think Tottenham Hotspur should sign this summer? Is Leroy Sané a good potential starting block for us if we were to bring a winger in? How many signings do you think we need to be able to improve in the Premier League next season and be competitive? Is it more important to get the manager situation clarified, or do we really need to nail down this recruitment on the pitch? Thank you so much for watching. I will be back with plenty more transfer videos over the next couple of weeks and throughout the duration of the transfer window. Yeah, make sure you like the video if you enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel if you are new around here. Enjoy your week. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy your week. I will catch you for the next one. And as always, come on, you Spurs.